Welcome to this 15-minute gentle stretch and mobility session, and today we'll be using a wall to assist our practice. So find a wall at home and you'll begin standing facing the wall, placing your hands on the wall, shoulder height. When you're ready, you'll be taking a step back on the right leg into a nice runner's lunge, bending the left knee so it falls directly over the left ankle. If you have knee irritation in the back leg, simply bring your right foot a little bit further out to the right. Now pausing here, we'll take a few breaths in this static calf stretch, trying to send your right heel down to the ground. Pressing firmly into the wall. Let's start to come onto the right toes and lift the back heel to energize the foot, and then drop the heel back down to the ground. Inhale to rise your right heel, and then exhale to drop your right heel to the floor. A few rounds like this just to really wake up the foot, the calf, the ankle. Inhale to rise, and exhale to drop your heel. Now we'll switch sides, take the left foot back, a nice walking pace backwards. Right knee will bend directly over the right ankle, and we press firmly into the wall to feel that lovely calf stretch. If you're not feeling anything here, try to press a little bit more into the wall and send your left heel down to the ground. We'll start those flexions in the feet. So on your next breath in, we'll start to lift the left heel up as you stand into the left toes. Then the left heel will drop on your exhale. And a few rounds just like this to wake up the calf, wake up the ankle and the bottom of your left leg. Breathing in to lift and breathing out to drop the heel. One more round. And then we'll come to a standing by the wall. It's time for a little balance. Let's take the right hand onto the wall and walk yourself away so the right fingertips touch the wall. We will then start to bend the left knee, come to a balance on your right foot, really grounding the right sole of the foot to the floor, coming to a little quad stretch on the left side. An option here is just to attempt a little balance on the right leg by bending the left knee, but if you can catch the left foot with your left hand, we can come into a nice quadricep stretch. Take a few breaths here, really finding your balance on the right foot, and then releasing the left foot back down to the ground. Let's start to come into a little shoulder opener. Start to walk your right fingertips behind you and heel toe yourself a little closer to the wall. Now this is opening the front of the chest, the shoulders, but please make sure not to come too close to the wall. This is to prevent any tension in the shoulders. The left hand might come onto the wall to support you. You'll take one final breath here. Brilliant, guys. Let's release the hands and land the hands shoulder height on the wall. Start to walk yourself back so your hips land in line with your shoulders and your shoulders in line with your hands, and you're in a half forward fold. So here we attempt to make a kind of rectangle shape with our body, making sure there's a 90-degree angle from our feet to our hips and our hips to our hands. Press firmly into the wall and start to rise yourself up back to standing. The other side. Let's take the left fingertips to the wall and extend your left arm and walk yourself away. Right hand will come onto your hip and you'll stand tall through your left foot, and maybe we'll attempt to bend the right knee. Option here to just try a little balance by lifting your right foot off the ground, or if you can grab the back of your right foot with your right hand, you can come into a nice quadricep stretch. Feeling a lovely balance through the left toes, the left sole of the foot, and when you're ready, just releasing that right foot down. Let's now walk the left fingertips slightly behind you and edge yourself a little closer to the wall. The nice heart opening stretch. Beautiful release for the shoulders, the upper chest, and just come anywhere that feels sticky, stuck, and that serves your body today. Please, if there's any pain experienced here, you need to edge a little further away from the wall. Take a breath. And when you're ready, just release your hands back to the wall, step away, come back to that forward fold where the hands place nicely, firmly onto the wall, and you sink your lower body down. Here we can soften the knees. It's a beautiful release for the spine and the lower back. Engage your core, take the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, and join me for one last breath here. Beautiful, guys. We'll start to rise. Walk your toes a little closer to the wall and you'll come gently down to a seat on the floor. Take your hips to the ground and gently roll your spine back down onto your mat. Here we're edging the feet as close towards the wall as possible and try and get your hips then close to the back of your heels. The knees point up to the sky. The hands rest nicely down beside your body. You'll start to stand firmly into your feet and slightly lift your hips up to the sky, maybe 2 inches off of the ground. We're not coming into an intense bridge pose here, just feeling a softening in the belly as you stand firm into your upper arms. Start to now lower your hips down to the ground. You'll now start to bend the right knee and stand the right foot onto the wall, then followed by the left. You'll start to stand both feet onto your wall. Feel the pressure through your feet, and as you stand into the wall, you'll feel a pressure in your lower back onto the ground. We'll now slowly take the right knee in towards the chest and interlace the fingers behind your right shin. I now invite you to draw some little circles with your hips using your knee. So just rounding your shin, just tiny little circles to release the tension in the hip girdle. And after a few rounds, you'll take your hands to the back of your hamstring, interlace your fingers and send the right foot to the sky. A hamstring stretch, making sure the right toes are really flexing towards your face. Soften the right knee just a little bit. Can you imagine the right heel can be lengthened up to the sky a little more? One more breath. We're now coming into a beautiful hip opener where you might want to shuffle your way a little further away from the wall. Keep your left foot on the wall. We're going to attempt to cross the right foot over onto the left knee. Now, if you struggle with this, an option is to just cross your right leg over your left. But the further option is to bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. We will then now ease out the right knee and maybe stroking our hands onto our thighs to help release a little tension in the hips. When you found your comfortable figure 4 position with your legs, take your arms down to the ground and begin to breathe. Here, you might try what it feels like to stand a little bit firmer into your left foot. To increase the stretch, we take the right knee out a little further away. When you're ready, you'll place the right foot back onto the ground, take the left foot down onto the ground, and your hands by your side. We stand firmly into our feet and lift our hips now into another little bridge pose, lifting your hips an inch higher than you did before. Firmly into your shoulders, you might attempt to lift your arms over your head, but if this doesn't feel comfortable for your body, please keep your arms by your side. Feel a softening in the belly as you begin to breathe. And when you're ready, your arms will come back down to the ground and you'll land your sacrum back onto the floor. The left knee will now be drawn into your chest, interlace your fingers behind the left shin, and place the right sole of the foot onto your wall. I now invite you to draw some little circles with your left knee to open up your left hip. Using your hands to guide you, take this slow and gentle. Just a few more rounds here. Then when you are ready, You'll interlace your fingers behind the left hamstring and send that left foot high to the sky. Remember, the aim here is not to overextend the left knee, so soften the left knee if you can. Drawing the left toes towards your nose will help activate the back of your left leg. Try and imagine the left heel can shine a little brighter towards the sky. A few more breaths here, relaxing the belly and the spine. When you're ready, we'll try and come into that wall stretch, with the first option being to tightly wrap the left leg over the right thigh. But if you can, trying to bring that left ankle on top of the right knee and opening up your hips. I find it very nurturing to take the palms of the hands and rub the inner thighs, just to ease out the tension in the legs. When you have found your comfortable position, we hold and breathe, opening your arms wide to land them on the floor, palms facing up. Now take the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, relax the chin to your chest, and see how it feels to firmly stand into your right foot into the wall. Just remembering to breathe slow and deep for your last few breaths here. In through your nose and out through your nose. When you've finished your rounds of breath, we'll release the legs, take the left ankle away from the right knee, and slowly draw both knees in towards your chest and give yourself a little squeeze. This is to support the spine, the health of your lower back, your vertebrae, and just nurture the lower spine. When you're ready, you'll drop your head down to the ground. You'll take both feet back to the floor, soles of the feet meet the mat. Bring your feet as wide as your mat. We're just going to start some twists, a little side to side, so bring the knees over to the left. The right knee reaches towards your left foot, keeping the arms and shoulders still on the ground. A deep supine twist with the knees over to the left. Here I'd like you to take a deep, full breath in your twist. And once you've finished your breath, bring the knees back up to center. And then just roll the knees over to the right. The left knee falls into the center of your mat. And the gaze comes over to the left hand, making sure both shoulders stay as close to the ground as possible. Take the tongue away from the roof and take a deep breath here. And on your exhale, we'll bring the knees back up to center. You now take the feet back to the wall and walk your heels as high as they can to elevate the legs. You are in your supported shoulder stand, where the feet are higher than the heart. Here the aim is to relax the legs fully and feel all the blood start to rush down the legs into your vital organs, your heart, your lungs, your digestive system. If there's any tension in the lower back here, we can grab a pillow underneath the hips. But try and relax the legs here. The pose with one of the most benefits in yoga. Reduces swelling in the legs and feet, improves circulation, decreases fatigue, stretches the lower back and hamstrings, and relieves PMS symptoms, and many more. Getting your legs higher than your heart allows the circulatory system to flush out all the toxins. So as we are now coming to the end of our practice, I invite you to close your eyes and stay here for as long as you need. I'll see you on the mat again soon. Enjoy.